July 1st, 2019, Idaho changed their gun law from needing a permit to concealed carry to no longer needing the permit if you're over the age of 18. In order to purchase a handgun, one must be over the age of 21. Now, there's been a lot of conflict going along with gun law, and a specific one is gun safety. That's a serious issue right now, and according to Karen Lair, gun safety prevents accidental shootings and operator abuse. And not everybody agrees with this. They actually think that it's going to go more towards gun control, and it's not gun control, it's just gun safety. So, David Finland actually states that people think it's going to go against the Second Amendment, and gun safety doesn't go against the Second Amendment, it actually helps it. And now, me personally, I have fired multiple guns, and I can tell you right now, it's not easy. It's very hard, it takes a lot of effort to use it properly. And to prepare for this speech, I have researched a lot on both sides to provide an exceptional argument, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm pro gun safety. I want to change the law to provide a safer environment for everybody, and the government should require safety classes, background checks, and mental checks for three main reasons. And the first, let's talk about gun violence and how it's affecting the world right now. Second, we're going to talk about proper training, safety class courses to ensure no accidental shootings. And third, let's talk about gun safety, how it doesn't go against the Second Amendment, because it honestly doesn't. Let's begin. Now, the first thing I'm going to talk about, the government should state that gun safety, background checks, mental checks, all should be required in order to purchase or wield a firearm. The reason for that is that gun violence has been increasing a lot lately, and Mark A. Zimmerman states that firearm deaths between the ages of 14 to 17 are actually 22.5% higher than motor vehicle deaths right now. And with that being said, that mass shootings have occurred in the last few years, and the biggest one was the Vegas shooting. It happened in October 1st, 2017, and 58 were dead, 850 were injured. And this was all by Kieran Corcoran. And German Lopez actually states that 40,000 deaths have happened by guns in 2017, and that's more gun deaths of 12.2 in 2017 than motor vehicle deaths of 11.9. And in 2019, there was 45 school shootings in 46 weeks. That's almost one school shooting per week, and 32 of those were actually elementary schools. And that's all by Elizabeth Wolf. Now, the solution to that is that safety, background checks, mental checks all decrease gun violence, and licensing and gaining information to utilize the weapon will actually decrease gun violence as well. The government was actually setting an organization so that gun safety courses and licensing was actually at a lower cost, and I'll let you know that taking that safety class will actually reduce gun violence, and so will the background checks as well. Now that I've talked to you about how to prevent gun violence, let's talk about how proper training can prevent accidental shootings. So, proper training can actually help prevent accidental shootings or unintentional deaths, and that's the main problem that's been going on lately right now. 2014, 2,549 between ages 0 to 19 have actually died from a gunshot wound. And that's all by examining accidental shooting death statistics. And 13,576 were injured in 2014. That's a lot. And so, 2006 to 2016, close to 6,800 people died due to gunshot wounds as well. And in 2016 itself had 495 incidents. And March 31st, 2020, this was very recent, a 12-year-old little boy actually died by his older brother because they were both messing with a gun. He got shot in the head by accident because they weren't properly trained. So, and that was by Carol Robinson. The solution to all of this is that accidents happen because of improper training. Nobody actually listens. They always think that, oh, it's going to be great. Make sure that you're always going to act like a weapon can do harm. And always act as if it's loaded. That's a main issue. Never point it at anybody, and always make sure your finger is off the trigger. And that's just some safety tips to help you. If you have a safety on, still follow the guidelines due to that it's a mechanical problem that can be faulty, and that will help you in the long run to see your loved ones in case something happens. And this is all from the same people that I mentioned before, the examining people. Now that we talk about proper training, let's talk about how the opposing team actually think that it's going to go against the Second Amendment, and also thinking that we're going to confiscate their guns. So right now, everybody's thinking that we're going to confiscate their guns, and I truly don't want that to happen. And because I, want people to be happy with, going hunting and everything, and so that we're not talking about that. What we're talking about is just making sure that everybody's safe around people. And so, with that being said, is that the government is trying to help. They're taking it a little too far. They want gun control, not gun safety, and I think they're in the wrong for that. Now, like I mentioned before, is that most people claim that it goes against the Second Amendment when it really doesn't. It actually helps take precautions and prevent accidental shootings. So that's one thing to keep in play, but it also helps gun violence and mass shootings from happening as well. The average homicides in states right now that doesn't require a background check is actually 58% higher than the 13 states that do require a background check. And that's some pretty good numbers, 58%. That's over half. So the impact of this is that making sure that there is just gun safety, background checks, and mental checks can actually help prevent deaths per year. So instead of 40,000 deaths in 2017, it can be down to 20,000 deaths. Just something will help prevent gun violence, any type. Let's recap. To conclude, the government should re-advise the gun law because that first, gun violence, it's been escalating a lot lately, and I just think that it's time for them to do something about it, but don't take it too far. Second, gun safety. Gun safety is a major issue and should be required regardless, just to make it to where you properly know what you're doing with a weapon. And third, gun safety doesn't go against the Second Amendment. It actually helps you better understand what the right to bear arms is, and will help you in a long run. Now, we're going to close this. It's time for the government to realize that background checks is required to help prevent accidental deaths. Safety courses will help that as well, and it's just going to help all around prevent deaths and accidental shootings, injuries. Thank you.